Well, hello, Mary Casey. Hello and welcome. Oh my goodness. JR, make your mouth move like it's me talking. Hi and welcome to the basement. JR is. Hi, everybody. Oh my goodness. As promised, we have Mr. Brundage here to. I don't be nervous. Just pretend everybody over there is in their underwear. Anyway, is that cord in the way? I gotta get my laptop going. So, welcome. We are here in the basement today, and boy, do we have a fun project for you. I think you're gonna learn something really fun and have a great bit of inspiration. So, my name is Lynn. This is my husband, JR, and we own L&J Goods here in Medina, New York. Every week we go live down here in the basement to get projects done. Now, we promised 2023 was going to be the year of furniture, but these lamps have been sitting here for how long? Over a year.
5 years.
No, not 5 years. No. So let me pull us up here. They've been here for a while, and we're going to turn them. These are just these incredible brass lamps, and I'm going to show you, or JR's going to, we're going to show you how we turn these old brass lamps into some really cool little night lights. They almost look like outrageously awesome candlesticks, don't they? So that's what we're doing today. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna unplug this. I'm gonna do
Probably
that.
look a lot nicer.
Yeah. So let me get us here. Megan is home today. She and Henry are a little under the weather, so it's just you and I today. Can you handle it?
24 hours of you.
Oh gracious. But I know we've got a live chat going on, and I want to see what you guys have to say. So I know Mary Casey is here. There we are. Look at that. There we are, JR.
Can I tell a whole bunch of untruths?
No. What, you want to play two truths and a lie? Is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. We have 28 people watching, but let's see who is here today. Judy, let's see, hey you guys, Patty Ruth is here, Susan Brown, Karen Attenberry, Mary Casey, Katie, there's our friend Michelle from Australia. She's coming here in May.
Again?
Well, the other Michelle,
The
our
other
other Michelle, our Michelle
Okay.
that follows us,
Okay.
that has her own place in Australia. She's coming to our retreat.
Wow.
Wow is right. We can't wait to see her. There's Lori Henderson. There's Lourdes. Lori Robertson. Oh, let me tell you what, Lori, you're going to love it. Paula Stackhouse. Dagny is here. Hi.
What are all the men?
Southern Craft Patch is here. Lori Slate. Look at you guys. So good to see you. Hi, Jeannie. There's Mary Harris. Hey. And there is Patrice. Yes, you are going to learn how to rewire a lamp. Kind of. But let me talk a little bit about the background of these and how we prepared them. Okay. These are vintage brass lamps, and goodness sakes, these are even getting harder to find. But our upholstery guy Gary sold a whole bunch of them to me a while ago. It was a while ago. And I fell in love with them. You can find these kinds of brass lamps everywhere. They're a little more understated, but they also have a cool look if that's your vibe. And, but boy, I like the ones that are just full of detail, and these guys are heavy. But look at this. It's almost like we're making really ornate candlesticks in a way. Yeah, we have one at our house that's full of like cherubs, and oh my gosh, I love that thing. And it is on every night along with
It's like,
20 other night lights in our house, right? JR is the king of night lights.
I am not.
You are. There's one in the laundry room. There's one in the closet.
So it's not
there's-
totally black.
there's
one in the
there's a
closet so you
light.
can see your clothes.
Poor
There's
Megan.
one in my closet.
There's in your
Pantry,
closet,
like
the
Sean
pantry, the closet that opens. There's a bathroom night light. Actually, two of them. One turns on and it's a red light when you sit down on the toilet, and there's one. There's a little string of lights
That's two.
in the guest
There's
room
three.
over my
There's one
crafting
by
desk
my-
and by your sink, and there's a candle that stays on all the time in the living room area, and we probably have 16 night lights right in the kitchen. So poor Megan, whenever Megan stays there, like when we go away,
It's too bright.
she's like, I don't know how you can even sleep in this house. There's no place to make it dark.
I'll have no comment.
Oh, JR doesn't want to step his toe. He does not. So,
Been in trouble once today. I don't need it again.
you know what, Susan? I would call it mood lighting as well.
Thank you.
And Mary Jo is here. Mary Jo's going to join us. Actually, Patrice will join us. We have a lot of our friends here that will be up here in May for our journaling retreat. So, okay. So, what have we done to prep these? First of all, you never like to leave old wiring in lamps.
No,
Never.
rare.
Why? Please tell us why.
Why?
Yeah.
It decays.
Uh-huh.
It becomes brittle.
You might have to speak up.
I can't talk as loud as you.
Okay. It
It gets
decays.
brittle. It also could, the insulation can open up to expose the bare wires. You can't tell what it's doing inside.
Right.
Yeah.
So something
Inside
could
what-
be amiss
Right.
inside of it.
If you're gonna do it, do it.
Could
Doesn't take much to do.
would there be potential for, say, a mouse to get up inside one of these?
No.
And no?
No.
No. Okay, they're all sealed. So you remove all the wiring. You remove all the wiring.
Yes.
And then tell us, and then here's what I do. We clean them, and I prep these by just giving them a light sanding, and I'm using Debbie's DIY, but even though we're using Debbie's DIY chalk paint, I want to make sure that I have a really good bond on this metal. So I always apply a bonding primer, and I just use our Fusion Ultra Grip. And I apply that. That's been sitting on here for a year. But you do want to let it sit for at least 24 hours, and that's going to create even a little more, almost like microscopic tooth, and really help the paint to stick. And then this one I've given 2 coats of Apothecary. I'm going to show you how we distress and wax this. And I'll add a second coat to this one as well. This is White Swan. But until then, Mr. Brundage is going to talk about how he prepares these as well. Is this new?
No.
Okay. So why don't you talk about like the part of a lamp, or like the parts you need?
What I like to do, if it's not all solid together, I like to take them completely apart. And you can see in the bottom, there's a thread rod.
Let me go, I'm gonna get a little closer on you.
Okay.
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 Hi, Sandy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a thread rod that runs right up through. And it could be anywhere from 2 pieces up to 5, 6, 7. So if you take it apart, make sure you either lay it out or take a picture. This is an example, kind of what's inside. Okay. But this one goes from here all the way to the bottom.
So it's long?
It's long.
Okay.
It's as long as what this needs to be.
Okay.
Okay. Again, I always like to take a picture if you don't know what the order of all the stuff is, so you can look back. Something like this might even have 3 pieces, well, sometimes upside down, backwards, or forward. I actually got some alabaster ones over there. Not that one.
But we have these, and actually, this is several pieces, right?
Exactly.
So this comes off, and this comes
Mhm.
off, and this comes off, and this comes, so it all comes apart. And you're
Right.
saying once you get it, all the pieces laid out, take a picture.
Take a picture of that.
Yep.
Picture. It's so easy to do now these days, just to actually have data for doing it.
I do that when I'm laying out layers of transfers.
Do you know?
I do. It's
Wow.
so, well, it makes it so much easier to know what you're working with.
I do the same thing in the wood shop.
Yep. Okay.
So see what we can do.
So what tools do we need?
2 hands,
Mm-hmm.
a brain, 2 eyes, and a wife who will just keep quiet.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. No, numbers. Needle nose pliers, side cutters or diagonals, wire cutters, maybe a utility knife, a screwdriver, tape possibly, and then a wire stripper. And those you find those at a hardware store. This is a very, very basic one, and it will adjust. It is ancient, so you probably won't find this same one. I like old tools myself. They're much better. Okay, where are we next? Where do you want to go? We have the cord. In our case, we've got a twisted vintage cloth covered cord. We'll use that today. There's the plug, the male plug. We have the socket. Will go here, and that will slide over the top.
What is that called? A socket cover?
The plastic piece?
Yeah. We'll call it that.
Candelabra cover.
Candelabra cover.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. So the biggest thing is making sure you do it in the right order. So my first thing I'm going to do is, since this one doesn't have, let me show you on here. This one has a hole in the bottom. So what you would do is you would feed it through here first. Give yourself plenty of wire here. Excuse me, honey. And then up through the bottom. And then carry it, push it right up to the top.
Is it hard to do that, or is the wire stiff enough?
The wire's stiff enough, but sometimes some of the new wire is much heavier, and it's very difficult to get it up through. So when you go by, it's called lamp cord or 18-2 wire. There's just 2 strands in it. It gets thicker now, so it makes it difficult to carry it all the way up and through. You can get it. What you might have to do there is run a wire down, excuse me, and pull it back up. Okay? So on this one, it's just open all the way around the bottom. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to run it up the center here, which should be relatively easy. Should be relatively easy.
Do you remember that time, honey, that I wanted to learn how to wire a lamp, and I literally videotaped. I videoed the whole thing on my phone.
Yes.
Of course, that was 3 phones ago. So.
Oh, well then that's why I'm here, I guess. So
Yes, it is.
what I'm doing because of the candelabra piece, I want to give myself almost to the top of here.
Okay.
That's where I want it to be when I'm all done fishing it through. So on the bottom, I'll either finger hold it where I want to tie a knot, which that's what I'll do. Sometimes you can put a piece of tape there. Sometimes you can use just a paper clip, whatever, just to kind of know where you have to tie off your cord. And the idea is tying the cord off so it doesn't pull up farther than it's supposed to, and basically de-wire your lamp. All right. A little more up on top is not a big deal. That can get cut off. So let's see how I did.
So do you measure twice and
Cut 12 times.
cut 12 times? Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That's probably a little more than I need, but that's what we're going to do for today. So now we fish that down through, making sure I don't need to put anything else underneath it. Because if we're doing a candelabra piece, to be able to put this piece over the complete socket, this is just a demo, you want to have something that this can sit down onto. I started with this one over here and did this earlier, and I ended up putting like a spacer. If you take this off and slide that up, there's the finished. I added this piece. Are we doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I added this piece so the candelabra sleeve can sit and be sitting right on something and having it so once the bulb goes in, it looks like a candle. Okay?
So you basically, you kind of want to like dry fit everything and make sure
Yes,
that it all,
pretty much.
you've got enough
Mhm.
wire and all that
Yes.
stuff.
Length of wire, that's another question. What I like to have minimum, once it comes out the bottom of the lamp, I like to have no less than 6 feet. Sometimes more, depending on your household. You may have outlets every 6 feet. In newer homes, older homes, you might only have one per wall. So
Isn't
that's
that
where
the
you have to
truth?
figure, you want the lamp to go in a certain spot in the room, know how far that cord needs to be to reach an outlet without an extension cord. Okay?
Sandy Darris, your friend, your tool buddy,
My tool buddy, yes,
Yes.
I know.
says that she has 2 lamps that need new cords. Thanks for the lesson, JR.
We're not done. I'm gonna shoot you, I'm telling you to electrocute yourself, so.
No, you're not.
Anyways, this is not gonna be complete because my knot isn't exactly where I want it, but for right now, you guys need to know how to finish this off.
Since you mentioned the word electrocute, you do want to be sure that you're taking all necessary precautions and making sure that you're comfortable doing this, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
This isn't one of the simplest things, but it still can be if you don't do it right. And
Yeah.
much has to do with how you end up wiring the poles.
So
or
you'll show us
Right.
how to make sure
Mhm.
that we have a completely safe lamp.
I
that is
will.
wired. Good.
Okay. So the next thing I do, I have a preset to strip, and I'm gonna strip down probably almost an inch. Okay, just squeeze.
Can you guys see this? Do you want me to come in a little closer?
I'll be doing 4 of them.
You are not.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna do them all?
Well, I have 2 ends.
Oh, okay. Okay. So there you are. Mm-hmm.
Alright. Next. Alright. Then, might as well, while we're doing that, this will be for the male plug end.
Hi, Shannon.
And again. And what I do, the ideal thing to actually do, but most people don't have the facilities to do it, is the ends of the wires on the very ends, as so, is to be able to dip solder on the end. And what that does, it prevents the wires from twisting back out. And I'll show you when we put this together what it does.
Are you going to do that today?
No, I don't have the,
Okay.
I'd have to set up the whole system, and that's, if you do a lot of them, it's a good way of doing it. That maybe would be in another lesson. How's that? The executive lesson. All right, so we've got that done. Where did did you take my?
Michelle says what she needs is a good pair of wire strippers, and that is true. Some of them are really
Nasty.
they're
Okay.
bad. Yeah.
All right. As much as I don't like to push any product on,
No, please go for it.
but this has now become my favorite wire snippers.
And what is it?
It's a diagonal. It's an off. If you look at it, it's an offset diagonal. So when you
Oops,
want to
hold
put
it
it
down.
on,
Hold it down.
okay. Oh, okay. So if you wanted to cut something off, you can see. I don't know if I can. You can see how it's a little off, so you don't put your hand.
Whoops.
Okay. Well, I can't.
I know.
That's the way it's going to have to be. So,
Okay.
but the brand name is Doyle, Doyle.
Okay.
And I highly recommend them. They're better than, I won't tell you the brand I don't like, so.
You can. I mean, you're allowed to do that. We want
Well,
them to.
it's in particular, okay, like in any product, each company may have a good line, some people don't.
Right.
And this particular one that I didn't like was a Milwaukee side cutter.
And yet you love their other tools.
They're good.
Yeah.
I have more favorites, but
Yeah.
they're still good tools, yeah.
Good.
They were originally contractors' tools. Now they've become to everybody. All right, so where did my socket go? There it is. Okay. You will do, slide it over. And this kind of gets annoying, but because the cord will still get in your way, just keep spinning.
Leah Daniel.
Leah said she loves her Snap-on side cutters.
Wow.
Well,
Okay.
of course, Leah has.
Your $65 side cutters, I can understand.
And because her husband has a collision shop.
Exactly. So when you get tired of yours, Leah, bring them to me. I'll take a used pair of Snap-ons. So, all right. So we're also untwisting the wire in this particular one. So far so good. Now, what you want to look for, and I don't know if you can see it or not, one side has a silver, one side has a brass, one side has a white, and one side has a black. So, actually my son taught me this one, even though I was teaching him how to wire. So, black goes on.
I'm going to come up a little closer.
Okay. Black goes on the brass. So what I've done, you gotta come way up if I see it.
No,
They
I'm
can't-
doing this.
They can't see. Anyways, you'll just have to, there's a brass side and then there's a chrome side.
Susan Brown wants to know, where do you buy the candelabra sockets?
These particular ones came from 1,000 Bulbs.
And after we're done, we'll put all the links down below of our favorite products. Hi, Joyce.
Okay, you're gonna have to unhook that. Just if you really
No,
wanna
because I've
see-
really focused in. I'm
No,
like,
if I'm looking at the picture here.
well, that's a little delayed.
No, it's.
Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. All right.
It's almost like you need to be right up on top of me.
Right up your nose.
Okay. Am I running this? Now,
Okay.
if we come twisted it, now this is the white. The white goes on the chrome side or the silver side. We wrap it around, and what I like to do is pinch it tight with my hand. My fingers draw down or pull down a little bit on the cord, and find the slot. But the lighting is not helping me. Like reflection.
Leah said, black brass. Same two sound letters.
Right, exactly. All right. So, I don't know, you can see that.
Oops, hold down a little. Let me see if you hold it down just a little more, like there you go. Okay, I see it. Yep.
Okay. And hopefully, that's where the soldering comes in. You can almost see the tails are kind of broken out. So now what I'm doing, because I have a little bit too much wire, this is not making that noise.
Okay.
Okay. There we've got that portion. All right. Now, I've lost my cardboard piece. We would actually take,
Did it roll on the floor?
I have no idea.
Here.
I lost two. There's a cardboard piece now, and that just slides over the top to cover up the terminals or the screws, and it'll slide down. There's a little bump out on one side. You won't be able to see it here, where it will catch the cardboard. And then from there, that goes on top. So that part is done.
Okay.
All right,
That was easy.
that's easy. As you can see, my wire is not tied right, but I'm not going to worry about that now. I've already stripped for the plug This is the plug I'll be using. I will not leave it on there because it's white, but it's the only thing I have
Okay,
available.
whoops.
So this basically just opens right up. Same thing again. You have two posts on each side.
So it's the same, like black, brass,
Right.
white.
Exactly. It's the polarization aspect of it. Right? I was going to think I said something else. Oh. As far as you put the wires in and always screw clockwise. So it actually helps draw the wire in.
Oh, as you're screwing
as
it
you're
down.
screwing.
Yep,
So then
yep.
on the other side, it's still the same way, but it's actually opposite. Same thing again. A little harder to. This I want to keep twisted. I don't want to untwist it. I'll draw that up on top. Use my inagile fingers. Hold
Tim Holtz calls them pork chop thumbs.
thumbs.
That's what he has.
Right. And there we go. You can see that okay?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right. Now, really all we have to do is kind of get it where it heads out and get it so. I have to twist that just slightly. This particular one has a screw in the back, so I've got to make sure my wires are in each side of that screw. Now this would be great to plug this in and just see sparks are flying.
Pat Reed said, how do you tell which wire goes where? Pat, JR mentioned the black goes with the brass screw and the white goes with the chrome
Silver.
or the silver screw. Black, brass, white, chrome.
Okay. Brass and black. In this case, we have a black wire. And what you'll also find, excuse my sniffle, if you get just regular brown or white zip cord or lamp cord, inside, they look exactly the same. But down the side of one of the two cords on each side, because there's actually two cords going in there, it might have a dash or it might have dots, and the other will be smooth or it's ribbed.
But when you strip that back, one is going to be brass wire and the other is going to be chrome wire, right?
Which you, at that point, you have to choose, okay, and I've never really, it could be the smooth is the black for you, and the ribbed is the white for you.
Okay.
And just do the same thing on your cord end when you go to put it on there.
Okay, we had a question. Would a European lamp need to be completely rewired?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Mary Schaefer, why do you knot the wire near the base of the lamp? So that it doesn't pull up through.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch back at the beginning, Mary, what JR did is he kind of measured out how much wire he would need, and then he made a knot.
Here, what I'll do is I'll tighten this up the way it should be.
Okay, let me turn that down.
Okay. So all I'm doing is kind of pulling this up tight.
It's hard to see because it's black against that black bottom, but he's working the knot up. He's working the knot like up into and next to the base of the lamp, right?
Or the thread rod.
The thread rod, yep. So it's right there.
As long as it just helps.
Patrice said, is it the same going from 120 to 240?
No.
No.
Don't, if you don't know how to do 120, don't touch 240 or 220.
Practice on a 120 first,
It's,
right?
it's different.
Okay.
With 220, yes, there's still two wires, but more times than not, it's three wires. I am not an electrician, just like other people say, they're not lawyers, they're not doctors, et cetera, et cetera. Here, and I guess what I'm finding, I don't.
Elena said, I've used the original wire because it was still in really good shape, but it just didn't have any indication as to what each of the wires was.
You put it this way, on a lamp, and that's what I say, liability issue if I open my mouth saying,
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, you just want to,
follow it down. I've had to take, if anybody's used like speaker wire or anything else of that nature, there's a gold side and there's a silver side. All right, just so there's a positive and a negative. That's the same thing you want to look for on cords. Started all the old Murphy's Law. But the thing is, if you have a flat piece, you can literally follow it from one end to the other. But if it's all twisted and turned, that's why I say get new stuff.
it's better to get new stuff. It's always
And
better.
It's not that expensive.
Right. Where do you buy wire? I mean, I know you get spools of wire, but can you also get like shorter lengths? If somebody had one lamp they wanted to, is there a lamp kit? Is there?
Yeah, there are, but that's where you run into problems. Go over in the top shelf of the wooden drawers. Wooden drawers.
Okay.
Way over, first drawer. Just open it up. Grab me a cord.
What's that?
Grab me a cord in there. No, not that. A pre-made or the one of those in a package. Yep.
Like that?
Yep.
Okay.
And I'll show you. This is a pre-made one. Okay. And maybe it'll make a liar out of me. But I will take and just show you. See how, if you can get around, see that? See how
Let me
it's
see.
soldered on the end, how I talked about soldering the ends?
Oops. There it is. See that silver soldering that's on
You
there?
can't see it, it's against my sweatshirt.
I know, right?
Okay, now, and that's not the only reason I'm showing that. There's also, and you can feel the ribs on one side and the smooth on the other. That's pretty much, just look close at it. And in fact, this particular one has your type of wire that is on the outside on one side, and the other side is the rib side. But what I want to show you, it might make a fool out of me, but
Oh, you're talking about the length of the.
not the length, but this one actually will work. But I've come across certain cords that will not, coming in from this one is okay.
Are some cords you're saying more flimsy, so they bend up in there, or?
No, some cords are thicker.
Oh, okay.
18.2 it tends to be, that's the wire size. 18 is the size of the wire that you're buying, the actual metal portion of it. 2 means there's 2 conductors.
Okay.
Okay, so with the lamp cords, or what my people even do is cut off an old extension cord. It's still 18.2, but it's got a heavier casing on it,
Okay.
and that will not fit up through the sleeve or the tube that's in your plant. Or in your...
Patrice said she was going to remove 220 and replace it with 110. For what,
What do you do?
Patrice? What are you working on?
It's because I say, I don't know, I've never heard of a lamp that's 220 other than industrial lighting.
Yeah. Huh. You know what, Patrice, you can always send us a picture of what you're working on.
Yeah.
And, text it to us or email it to us, and JR can take a look at it. Okay?
I'll just fly down and fix it for you.
There you go. We need a Tampa getaway.
Well, here's the case. This one
Whoops.
did go up through.
Okay.
Okay? And that's called a replacement lamp cord. Make sure if you do buy something, it says that right on there. That will make sure this is the thinner line.
Yeah.
One, because it's not going to draw that much power through it, is where an extension cord could be drawing 3 or 4 lights that have heavy
Right. So,
wattage.
yeah.
So, I guess that completes it, unless you want me to plug it in and.
Well, yeah.
Okay,
Let's
You need a lamp or you need a bulb.
So what we use is I can't believe it was that quick.
What was what quick?
That rewired like that quickly.
Oh, this is an easy one.
Good. Yeah, that's not the one you have to take all the
Here's
pieces apart.
something. This is something I will do. I'll do a time lapse one for something that's very involved. I'm not teaching you or anything. You can just watch and see where it might have 3 or 4 outlets or lights on the same particular unit.
Somebody said,
Keep
let
your
me
hands
see.
down. Quit moving your hands.
No. Betty said, my hubs went to trade school for electronics. I leave all the rewiring to him.
Yeah.
He restores antique radios as his hobby. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. Okay, so we use these little silicone candelabra bulbs. You know what ones we mean, right? They're so cool. And they don't get hot, so it's easy to just, boop, unscrew it. Now you could, we talked about this earlier, you could get a lamp cord and put in a little switch. Inline switch. But we don't, because we just do this, right? And
Inline switches are on the fence with those.
yeah. So there, if you unplug that dryer, you might be able to plug that right in.
For what? Oh, am I done?
Are you done?
I'm done.
Yeah, like didn't you want to plug this in to see if it works?
Oh, you want me to plug it in there? That's what you want. Okay, so it's a gutsy
Let's
move.
pray sparks don't fly.
Oh, stop. Oh, that's why we have. Look at it.
Okay, isn't that so neat? Now, what I will do with this lamp is I'm gonna paint this all, like I'll paint it all white, like this one. And I would even, like decoupage a dark paper, a coffee stained paper, or paint this candelabra cover to kind of make it look a little less plasticky, right? So, yeah, thank
I'm
you.
out of here.
All right, thank you so much.
Bye, girls.
I hope that made sense. Let's just, I'm going to quickly show you in just a few minutes how I'm just going to paint this one up. I already have one painted with Apothecary, but this usually takes a couple of coats. And remember what I said about, the Ultra Grip. I did put a bonding primer on it, okay? So I'm just gonna paint this and the other what I love about the chalk paint is it kind of has some texture to it. But if you want even more texture, you can add like our Fusion Fresco to it and give it some more crustiness. You can really do a lot with this. And I'm not too concerned if some of the brass shows through. I'll be distressing it back anyway.
Oh, you got paint on my tool.
I did.
My
Well,
favorite
get
tool.
your tools out of the way.
Yes, dear.
Anyway, there's no reason for me to finish painting this all in front of you, but I will get my waxes out and I'll show you the one that is done with Apothecary, and we'll do a little bit of distressing. And I'm just gonna adjust the camera a bit.
Do you need me anymore?
No, not at all.
Go
You're
in my
good.
office.
You're going up in your office?
Going in my office. Got office work to do. So is this called dead air when there's nobody in front of it and
Yes, it is.
and
I
only
just- I
I'm
forgot-
talking?
I didn't want to crowd your space, but let me get all my goods here. I have all my different waxes. I have dark wax, I have white wax, and I have clear wax. And a couple of different wax brushes, and I have a little sandpaper here. Hey JR, I would ask that you could do one thing for me. He's gone already. Oh my gosh, that was so quick. Okay. Oh, a desk. Oh, Patrice, that sounds really cool. Oh. All right, so I'm just gonna lightly distress this so that I get just some of that brass to pop through.
Sorry, I'm a one-woman show now.
A one-woman show. But this part is easy. So I have just a little bit of the brass popping through. I'll tell you where you really notice this is like on these darker lamps with the white. You really can get a kind of a cool effect. And I'm not gonna, you know, go all the way around it. I'm just gonna like here and there. And if you wanted to really get crazy, you could do one coat underneath and then just put a contrasting color up on top of it and distress it back to the original color or the base color. And you can also do some wet distressing, which is also really a nice way to give this kind of a cool look. But where I get the best effect is using the waxes. So this is just an old 220. I save all of these from our palm sander. Heaven forbid if I should use a new one out of the package. Jared's like, those things cost so much money. Just get regular sandpaper. He's right. Of course he's right. Okay. So my first coat is going to be clear wax because we don't want the dark wax to suck right into that chalk paint. We want to make sure that we lay a foundation of the clear wax on so that we can move our dark wax around a little more easily. Yes, Apothecary, you guys. This is Apothecary. Most of these I do with like a shade of white, just because I like that look, and I like how it looks when it gets all grunched up. Oh yeah, you do want to go get some old brass lamps. But you know what? If you like the look of like this right here, all I would do is I would just decoupage over this or add some music, some old sheet music over this, or paint over it and make it thick. You could also, another cool thing that you can do is you can take your glue gun and create like kind of drips down the side to really make it look like a candle, and then paint over it. That's a really awesome look too. It's just you have to be sure that if you're going to paint this this candelabra cover, remember it's plastic, so I would put a bonding agent over that. But actually I love the idea of using some glue, hot glue, to create some drips on there. That would be really neat. Okay, now I've got a different I have a different brush for my dark wax. And a little soft t-shirt. T-shirts make the best waxing rags, they really do. like that perfect blue-green. It's almost like a little bit of a duck egg blue with green undertones. It's just such a pretty, pretty shade. It's one of my favorites. Because it's kind of a neutral also. All right, so let's get some dark wax. But you go to the thrift store, man, you can pick up these lamps for next to nothing, right? So this is my dark wax, and I am just going to start applying it. All over my lamp. But you can see how if you added some fresco to this, it had a little bit of like grungy texture. Or, oh my gosh, remember a while back when I did those Aldi urns, those polyethylene urns, and I made them look like cast iron? Wouldn't that be cool on here with some rust effect? And oh my gosh, that would be awesome. So you guys, when I load this a little bit later, I will, I'll go ahead and put and link to some of the things that we talked about in the description box below. And then I'll just take my cloth and kind of rub this back, leaving some of it in the recesses and the cracks. So what do we have here? Is that FedEx?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. So you can make them as grungy as you like. But like, what a great little spot here for like a little mold, so you can doll them up and create even more texture on them. It kind of becomes a little blank canvas, right? But here they are. Oh, I love these. No kidding. We started making these several years ago, and I had this one brass lamp that's just all cherubs, and a lot of really cool, interesting detail, and I love that thing. I love it. You'll see it a lot in pictures that I take at the cottage. I kind of move it around. Sometimes it's in the kitchen, sometimes it's in the hallway, sometimes it's, oops. Hey, JR. JR. I'm still filming. Thank you. You're just having a good old time. And do you guys notice what a difference with our internet and our streaming today? We got hooked up and it has been awesome. So we are really thankful that we were able to get our all of our internet fixed up, the squirrel chews, the everything. So there they are, you guys. I'm not going to keep you any longer to paint all these because really you can kind of do whatever you want to do with them. But we'll get these finished up and I'll take a really nice picture of them to share. And let me get my camera up a little bit. But for sure, use up, find those wonderful old brass lamps. Check it out. Like, this is going to get all painted, but even if it didn't, it would still be so, so, so neat. And it just, I think it just turns them into like an over-the-top, outrageously like ornate candlestick nightlight, right? So thank you, you guys. Thanks so much for joining us today. And don't forget, we will be live on Friday upstairs in our workshop studio. And don't forget, if you are here with us today and you have not subscribed, please do. please share this with your friends. And also leave us a comment. Let us know if you have any questions and whether you would give this lamp project a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Let us know. We'll leave everything that we used in a link in the description box below once I get this loaded later on. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on Friday over on Facebook upstairs. Take care.